New Radio Sports Network and 105.1 The GOAT. Tim Cole's here with head coach Mike Peck after Gibraltar falls to Wabeno-Laona. And, Coach, obviously not the result that you wanted here this evening. There were some bright spots. The one that really stuck out to me here tonight was Sam Neal. Talk about what he brings to this team. He had that long touchdown run to get you guys on the board right before halftime, and also had a couple nice runs in the second half as well.
Yeah, Sean's our he's actually a senior who decided he wanted to play football this year. He's actually a four-year soccer player. He is also playing soccer this year, so he's doing double duty. Soccer is his main sport, so we get him when soccer is not going on. But he's a kid I see in the weight room quite often as when I supervise the weight room, and I've been talking to him, and some of our kids have been talking to him, and wanted to come out, and so he's out here, and he did some really positive things last week in scrimmage, and then you saw tonight. We can get him in green space, good things are going to happen for us. So, I mean, we're going to have to work a little bit harder and getting the guys up front, getting on their blocks and staying sustained, and hopefully we can get Sean out in that green grass and see him run some more.
Yeah, he showed a lot of speed here. Another guy that was able to show some speed as well, and he scored the other touchdown tonight for Gibraltar, Baron Lois. He was able to get loose in the back in the field, and Giovanni Mercier threw up a pass, and Baron Lois was able to run underneath it.
Yeah, I mean, Baron's a four-year starter for us. He's been started as a cornerback as a freshman, then as a sophomore he had to start as a corner for us, and then he's been basically a starter since he's been a sophomore, and you can see just the progression. And unfortunately for him, we transferred our offense a little bit this year, and we got stuck playing tight end, but you can see there's a couple wrinkles in the playbook to let him get out there and run a couple routes, and Gio found the right spot, led him in the right place, and then Baron caught it and just finished it, taking it to the house.
And, you know, you mentioned you guys changed offense probably about halfway through last season. And, you know, sometimes when you're able to do that, you're getting some people at least antiquated with it once they get to it. But you still have half your team, freshmen and sophomores, trying to figure it out too. And I mean, talk about, you know, the struggles that you guys have trying to implement something new with such a young team.
Yeah, we're having there's still some growing pains, and we knew that going into it. We bring in 6 freshmen I think we have this year, and then we still have our three sophomores. More than half our teams, you know, underclassmen, and so that's rough. We asked them to change from what they did in middle school, and then they come to high school, and we throw all these new wrinkles at them. So like it's learning. Actually, as we talked about pregame, I asked my freshmen to make sure they were close to Coach Dahlstrom, listening to what he was saying, just so they could hear the verbiage, how things go, so that they're not kind of lost on the sideline. I mean, it's a learning experience. You're down there, all of a sudden you hear the fans cheering, you hear cowbells from the opponents. It's just a different atmosphere that they're not used to in the middle school game. So that's what we asked them for, and I think they did well, being on the sideline, keeping their head in the game and knowing what's going on. I know a couple of them were chomping at the bit, but I just wasn't ready to put them in the game tonight, and so it's a decision I had made as a coach to keep safe-wise. And I mean, that team we played was a pretty good team. They made the playoffs last year. Clearly they look like they're poised to make another run this year, so we made a better decision, and there will be games where those kids will have a chance. Tonight just wasn't it.
And then final question before we let you go, message to the team after this one. Obviously it's tough sometimes to be able to go to that huddle after the game, still have a smile on your face, and be able to kind of pull some positives for those conversations, because you're right back at it on a short week against Florence next week. What was your message to your team?
Yeah. We talked about the short week, talked about ice and injuries, and then the biggest message was, I mean, what we talked about at halftime was we just need to see better effort in the second half, and I think we did see that. We saw kids getting to their blocks, sustaining their blocks a little bit longer. We saw I had a couple more big plays in the second half, so they're there. We just have to get our kids to the right spot. A lot of it for us right now is we as coaches see the linemen on the sideline, but the kids don't always pick it up. We practice one thing and the team does something different, so we have to be a little bit more flexible in what we're doing. That comes down on us as coaches, having to do a little bit more when we're running some of the scout team looks to give those kids that look so they're ready come Friday night. But we just didn't. They kind of threw a monkey wrench at us. We didn't anticipate they're going to run a 4-front, and they ran a lot more 4 than what we anticipated. So we'll just retool and come back next week and be ready to take on for Florence.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate the time. We'll see you again next week.
Sounds good, Tim. Thank you.
Been watching 105.1 The GOAT and the New Radio Sports Network.